the book of Genesis, chapter 2. Let me just paraphrase and run so that we get to chapter 8. We will talk more when we get to chapter 8. So, this is our introduction to chapter 2 of Genesis. We get to now see how it actually took place, this creation which we were told of in verse 1. So, we are now being told in more detail how it really happened. So, firstly, God took 6 good days working on this project of creating the heavens and the earth and their host, everything which is in it, right? So, then He then rested. So, lesson number 1, guys, let's not be people who rest before work, right? Today we explain it as laziness, but I'm just coming to say, let's not be people who rest before work. You should always make sure that you work very hard, and after completing your work, or after completing the goals and the targets which you have set for yourself, then you award yourself rest. Rest should be a reward for the worker. You shouldn't be a person who just likes to sleep around all the time. In fact, when you are doing the math, 6 out of 7 of your day should be dedicated to working and pushing that you achieve your goals in life. Then just 1 out of 7 of that time you then rest. Okay, let me just pass through that. So you then find out that God made everything, the heavens, then the earth. Again, you see verse 4 doesn't hide it. It was the heavens always come before the earth, right? So now as you continue, you will now see that every herb which God had instructed to be was now just but a seed. There was no plant, there was nothing yet as such. Everything was just waiting. It was waiting for what? If you're going to read verse 5, you find out that God hadn't made it to rain yet. And the reason was because there was no man to till the ground. So you see, everything which God was creating, He was doing it in preparation for this man which He wanted to create. So you see how important you are in God's plans and purposes. Never at any point think that you are any less valuable to God. God really values you. That's why He even waited to bring rain upon the earth, that nothing germinate yet, because He was waiting for you. In fact, you are God's manager. He was waiting for men to manage everything which He had created. Remember, your duty and assignment is to dominate and be Lord over everything which God created. So now verse 7 is now continuing to tell us that God began the project of creating man. How did He do it? He went out and actively participated. Unlike all the creation where God was just sending forth His word and it became, this project He decided to step out and actually form men out of the ground. So the lesson from that now is that always remember that you are just dust. Dust, good people, just dust. Let it remind you to always be humble before God, because what made you a living being, what gave you life, was the breath which came from God. So it's actually the treasure in us, His Spirit in us, which brings value to our lives. So whenever you are seeing yourself high up there, the revelations which we get, the prophecies, the anointing upon our lives, never allow it to give you any sense of pride, because unfortunately the anointing, whenever it's upon your life, it will always bring glory. People will always just adore you, and even if not careful, they might even try to worship you. But you are supposed to make sure that you redirect all the glory to whom it belongs. Okay, so never forget that. Now we are at verse 8 there. Let's end here for now. Let that be our introduction. Let's continue from verse 8. Stay tuned.